Hello and welcome to round 4 of the 7th Uppsala Young Champions. I am still Fiona, I'm your host for the day, and I'm delighted to be joined again by Sweden's top Grandmaster Nils Grandelius. Nils, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
First of all, before we talk about any chess or anything, yesterday I had some slight tech issues. People could not hear Harry at first. At least now you can see Nils nicely. Can you hear him as well? I hope so. I can hear him loud and clear. And just waiting for confirmation. They can hear you. Excellent. So Nils, how are you on this fine weekend?
I'm excellent. Enjoying some chess as usual.
We're gonna have a lot to look at. So we already have our first guest lined up, and from what I'm hearing and from what I've seen, he's gonna show us quite a spectacular game. So Adrian Söderström will join us in just over 5 minutes. But before he joins us, let's just take a quick look at the standings so far. So only 2 players remain on a perfect 3 out of 3 score. Milton Panzer from Sweden and Jakub Kusza from the Czech Republic. Nils, how impressed have you been with their games so far?
I haven't actually seen all of Jakub Kusza's games, so I can't say for sure. But Milton Panzer, it looked very smooth so far. I think all 3 of the victories were pretty convincing ones. So yeah, a bit impressed, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And then these 2 are followed by a group of 4 players on 2.5, in which there are 3 Swedes. So, okay, of course, the majority of players in the tournament are Swedish, but still they are doing quite well so far, I guess. So we have in that follower group, we have Kan Kukushari, we have Hampus Sørensen, and Isak Stormer, who joined us yesterday on the show. By the way, Nils, if I ever mispronounce any names, feel free to correct me if I mispronounce them too badly.
I think it's okay. I mean, it's fine. It's not so easy with Swedish pronunciation.
That's true. And then the last player on 2.5 is Victoria Radeva, who yesterday morning, so yesterday was a double round, she won a very nice game against the top seed of the tournament, Felix Blåberger. Did you have a chance to see that game, Nils?
Yeah, of course. This was she was playing quite aggressively, and Felix didn't defend in the best way and allowed a pretty cute but not that difficult tactic to win the game immediately. But even if he didn't, it would be sort of quite interesting attacking prospects for White. So very nice victory, of course.
Actually, since we are showing, I was gonna show the previous one, but how easy is it to do it? Let's see. I see round 4. Maybe it's not so easy as I thought. Do you know if I can go back to the previous round?
I don't know, but
okay, let's not dwell on that. So okay.
I'm sure the game is everywhere online now after winning the beauty prize.
And today, Nils, we once again have a beauty prize to give away, and I will leave you in charge of that.
Okay.
Also, hello, of course, I haven't acknowledged the chat yet at all, but there's already over 50 people here watching us, so hello and welcome to everyone. A quick look at the pairing. So, of course, the 2 leaders are facing up on the top board, Jakub Kusza against Milton Panzer, and then Isak Stormer is playing against Victoria Radeva, and Kan Kukushari against Hampus Sørensen. So those are sort of the top 3 boards for today, let's say, and then the top seed on board 4, who will be looking for a win with the black pieces to sort of come back to the leaders group. Nils, quick look at what's going on in between the 2 leaders, and then we bring on Adrian for an interview.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you, Maripan, by the way, for maybe later, if we have some downtime, we can have a quick look at it. And
yeah, but there is not a lot okay, actually. It's many games and very little time. So
stop calling me out. Okay, so we had a Caro-Kann. Nils, you're well versed.
Yes.
in this opening, and this is some kind of sideline, yeah, with queen e2.
No, queen e2 has become the main line because simply this knight takes f6. I mean, black takes back with the e-pawn, and this structure is so incredibly tough to break. This, of course, is a big favorite of Mr. David Howell, for instance.
And of myself.
Of yourself, even.
Yes.
Yes, also me. I played it in many games.
Yeah.
I played it, for instance, against Elizabeth Petz in Gibraltar.
How did that go?
Yeah. I won, yeah. She tried to attack, but it's very difficult against this pawn structure.
Yeah.
That was why I played it.
Of course, also of fame, of Magnus Carlsen fame as well.
Yes, he played it once against Sviller, and after this game he said that he would never in his life play it again because he got a very bad position. And then he played it again and lost. So
in the now infamous game. Actually, that's something, if you're watching right now, we will discuss this. We're not going to discuss it further right now, but we will discuss it tonight. Shameless plug, tonight on Chess24, the new show last Chess Week, tonight starting at 8 p.m. Nils will be my guest and we will have more time to discuss.
Yeah, we will for sure discuss it. Okay, let's go a bit...
a bit faster.
I mean, okay, this is... Not that much is going on, yeah.
Actually, maybe Maripant, if you could set up a comment for the show tonight, that would be really lovely. Thank you very much. So, how much is this all? This is all like...
No, I think this is quite rare because it, frankly speaking, doesn't look that impressive for white.
This whole g4 thing? Or, no,
I think that generally they take on f6 after queen e2 because then you can no longer take back with the pawn on... with the e-pawn, sorry. So you have to take with the g-pawn.
Yeah.
Instead of d3. I mean, here, for instance, you can take and you can't take with the e-pawn because it's pinned. So this is the main line. This has been played many times. So this is quite, let's say, unimpressive from white, I think. Because simply put, in this symmetrical structure that they are getting, like move 15 or so, this pawn on g4 doesn't really make sense. It's more of a weakness. Like, it's just a huge square on f4 that will eventually be very weak. Like a knight will come one day, I guess. So I would say that black is already better. At least a very, very comfortable position.
Yeah, sorry to... one thing that I was wondering here, if I were white, I would be very afraid that h5 would come immediately, but...
No, this is definitely is very interesting as well. I believe maybe the logic is that black considers his position to be like very long-term better. So then maybe you don't need to confuse matters that much. You can just play simple, and the hope is that the advantage will increase eventually anyway.
So they eventually, queens came off the board, the heavy...
Everything came off
the
and
heavy pieces.
Yeah. It's of course not clear how big of an edge black has, but it's very clear that there is an edge. So
can you explain for the viewers, why do you say that it's very clear that there is an edge?
Well, simply because white has moved too many pawns. You know, there was this... what is it? This book by Samuel Shankland, yeah, where he was claiming this, that pawns don't move backwards. And this, of course, is very difficult to argue against. And here we have a clear case in point why when it would be good to move them backwards. So, like...
so you mean, for example, all the weaknesses here?
All the weaknesses, like a3, b4, d4. Before the move f4, the square f4, of course, was weak as well. Now white played f4, which is a big decision. But it gives other problems, because now the pawn on e4, if black takes, it will be isolated on e4. All of the pawns... I mean, basically all of the pawns are now on light squares for white. And it's quite likely that the dark squared bishops will be traded somehow.
Yeah.
Then white will be stuck with a terrible bishop. And like all these weaknesses, like it's not so difficult to imagine that the black king might enter king d6, king c5, king b4 when some pieces disappear. So, I mean, with white you are trying to stay put and try to stop black from getting too active and hope that you make a draw. But of course, it's not a great success for the beginning of the game.
An unpleasant day at
very
work
unpleasant
ahead.
ending. Okay, also not very exciting yet, I think. But I'd be very happy with black to just grind it out for a very long time.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's your verdict on that top board clash, and Black has just taken on F4.
Yeah, I think we don't need to come back here within the next hour, but stuff will happen much later, I think.
So let's get our guests on. Let me just confirm that he is ready, and we're gonna have a look at a game that is already finished. That is the game between Richard Stallmach and Adrian Söderström. Is that how you pronounce it?
Adrian Söderström. It's not easy for a non-Swede.
Okay, so let's try and get them on, or let's get him on rather.
Let's try.
And you said he's a very young player, correct?
Very young player. I think he's only 14.
So we're gonna try and add them to the call.
Very fancy with guests. We did not have guests previously when I was here.
Adrian, hello.
No. Never.
Hello, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Hello.
So, shall we look... Okay, before we look at your game, tell us a bit. First, I always ask everyone, how are things there in Uppsala, and how are you enjoying the tournament so far?
Yeah, the tournament is very good, I think. And yeah, everything is very good here.
And
Outside, yes.
today, I guess things are especially good for you. You got a very nice win with the black pieces. I haven't actually seen it yet, but Nils, you have. Do you want to tell us something about what happened in the opening here? Or maybe Adrian can, one of you?
Well, this is the Budapest Gambit, of course. Quite a dubious weapon, objectively speaking, but quite scary for White if he doesn't know it, and things can quickly go wrong.
Adrian, do you play the Budapest often, or was it a surprise weapon today?
It's the first time in like 3.5 years, so I can say it's the first time.
Nice. So a first time and a very successful first time to come back to it.
In general, I think it's very rare that people play it regularly. It's really a surprise weapon, because if White is well prepared, it's not so fun. But if it comes as a surprise, like in this game, I mean, we can see what happens.
So how much of this, you guys can educate me and the viewers, how much of this is theory? Or maybe Adrian, you can tell me how far did it follow your preparation?
I knew the line until Queen D1 in move 10. The usual move there is Queen D3 or Queen D2.
So here Queen D3 or Queen D2
Yeah.
is usual. Was he spending a lot of time in the opening, or because I see he still had 1:30 on the clock here, so...
Yeah, exactly. I was beginning to think a little bit more here.
Okay, so some time spent on Queen D1 and D6. And Nils, what do you make out of the position, let's say out of the opening, although I guess technically the opening stage isn't completely...
Well, generally speaking, it's more solid for White to play G3, Bishop G2 instead, to fianchetto the bishop, to get this bishop in the defense of the king. But if you do it with the queen on D1, then the pawn on C4 might get weak. So I think that is the reason why people in general put the queen on D3 instead. Because what happened in the game is quite scary for White, I think. Because now the problem is if H4 looks a little bit too optimistic from White.
Is H3 better there?
Maybe H3. I mean, short castle would be the most logical move, of course, but...
Yeah, but like castles G5.
Exactly. Then comes G5, Bishop G3, even H5, yeah?
Yeah.
And this is looking quite scary for White with the bishop. I mean, still probably a huge mess, I mean, after something like H4. But it's understandable that White doesn't want to go for this, I think.
Yeah, but like takes on G3, G4, and takes on E3.
Exactly, and you have to you win back the pawn, and the question is maybe Black's king now getting weak? Like let's say knight G5, queen takes E3, and king H2, and
yeah, right.
I mean it's a huge mess. It's very difficult to understand what is going on here. But But it could also be that black is doing well. Not impossible at all.
Yeah, it's really. I know, Nils. Yesterday, you were bullying me from the chat. You were watching the show, and I was talking about this modern day pushes. But it's very unusual though to see these pawns here and the king all alone.
Exactly. I mean, this would be very normal with the king on the queen side instead. But here there is this concrete problem with the bishop on g3, so it does make some sense. But h4 it simply cannot be a good move. There is no way.
And it looked like it was quite swiftly punished.
Well, okay, maybe Adrian should explain.
Yeah, right. h5 here is probably bad as well, I think, because now he absolutely cannot castle. And if he goes to h6, I play g5, and black is much better. And if he plays knight h4 as in the game, I just win instantly.
So let's see what happened there. It looks like, I don't know, I never know how to turn off this automatic analysis, but Lichess is informing me that
this is losing 13 pawns.
That's a lot of...
It's a bit strange maybe to play this after 20 minutes. I mean,
he
simply did not see the tactic.
Yeah. Did you talk to him after the game? What did he, and if so, what did he say? I mean, let's first maybe show the win here. How much time did you didn't spend too much time. Had you seen it already in advance?
Yeah, it was pretty much the only thing I thought about when I play Rook E8. So I had calculated like all the lines there, and I think it's just a very easy win.
Mm-hmm. So I tried knight G6, and yeah.
It just
it was a demolition.
Why is the rook and 2 pieces down?
Yeah, and queen h2, knight h3.
Knight h3 is a nice touch as well. Yeah.
Very nice.
And then queen takes e3 and pick up everything.
Yeah.
But probably instead of this knight h4, first of all, what did he say? He just missed knight takes f2, or what was?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But already here, I mean, it's very difficult to suggest the move for white, I guess.
I mean, this king, what do you do with this king?
I mean, because you would like to move the knight. I mean, not to h4, but maybe to d4 or even to d2, just to ease up on the pressure. But it's the same tactic, so...
I think both he and I wanted to play rook c2 there.
Rook c2?
Yeah.
Where? Sorry.
To cover a bit on the second. Yeah, maybe, yeah. But, I mean, it looks so scary for white, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like knight e5 here, and that should be better.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks, where is this king ever going to go, no?
Not impossible that the computer would be able to defend for white here, but in practical terms, I mean, it's such a nightmare to... You can't go to the king side and you can't go to the queen side, so... And in the center, you're very vulnerable.
Yeah.
No, very nice win.
Tell me, I always wonder, how do you react? Do you manage to keep a straight face? Like, let's say, even for Nils, I mean, you've been a top player for so long. When a move like knight h4 appears and you understand, okay, that's it, game over. How do you feel? Or...
Yeah, first Adrian maybe should answer how he felt.
Yeah, but when he played knight h4, I thought like knight takes f2 should just be winning. So, but then again, I always felt like I could be missing something, but I didn't really care too much about that. So I just played it and hoped for the best, and it was good enough.
And what about you, Nils? Because I know that sometimes when I was playing games and when I understood they make a big blunder, it's almost like hard to control my emotions, like
okay, but my
first or something.
My first thought is always that I have to double check everything because I'm probably missing something. So I try to sort of increase the concentration because it's very easy to sort of lose concentration when things like that is happening.
But sometimes I think you also know, because let's say his opponent spent what he spent, what did you say, 20 minutes? So you already, let's assume you already, let's say, have seen that if he plays this, I'm probably winning.
Yeah, but then you calculate it for a fifth time and try to see, and okay, then you just make the move. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I'm not starting to run around in the tournament hall of joy. No, that I think is.
So Adrian, a quick day, a quick round for you, but I believe there's a Blitz tournament coming up tonight.
I don't know, but
I think it's cancelled.
It's cancelled.
Yeah.
I think it's cancelled.
Big pity.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with the rest of your Sunday now that you won so quickly?
Yeah, like wait for the others to finish because I need to get home. So I'm just going to play Blitz maybe.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, nothing.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us and congratulations. Very nice game, and yeah, always nice to win games like these.
Yeah, thanks very much.
So thank you.
Yeah,
Good
well
luck.
done. Good luck
Thanks.
tomorrow.
Thanks.
So this was very nice. A nice game.
Very nice game, yeah, and that also shows how I mean how quickly it can go wrong, yeah, if you are not feeling very well, because also it's clear from the time management from White, time usage, that he was not very confident in this type of position.
Yeah.
Because you're immediately attacking him from move 2, yeah? It's not easy.
I find it okay. I mean, I'm of course a much lower weighted player, but I always find it so uncomfortable when I get I met over the board with some gambit that I haven't looked at for a while.
No, of course, it's
and,
very unpleasant. Very unpleasant.
And you know, okay, your opponent has looked at everything, and it's very, very, very unpleasant.
No, that's why I would not. I mean, after taking on e5, knight g4, I would not try to keep this pawn. Never. I mean, I would play e3 or e4, give it back, and hope for hope to play with equal pawns, but with hopes of an initiative. So
some very practical advice there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the games that are live. Let's go to board 2. Isaac, how do you pronounce it?
Stormer.
Stormer, okay, this one I can do.
Not the German way, Stormer.
Stormer. So,
Stormer.
do you want to go back very quickly to the beginning?
Very quickly we can go, okay. This is all very, very normal stuff. And here the question is always for black, should you play b4, give up the square on c4? Or should you try to play a sort of waiting game? But I think most people, they play b4 eventually.
So she decided.
She decided to do it, yeah. I mean, now white has a nice square on c4, but sort of black is still very solid, so not so easy to make progress.
I mean, I've always, actually one of the reasons I stopped playing this d5, this Queen's Gambit, is just like the Catalan, I could never find anything. I mean, this was my worst nightmare, this passive and sit and wait.
Exactly. No, Catalan is a very dangerous opening, or dangerous line for white. You have to know very well for black, because it's you can get lost so quickly, both positionally and tactically. You can get under attack. You can get some very passive position. I mean, there are many dangers lurking.
By the way, I just wanted, during the interview, I guess they are gone now, but I wanted to say thank you so much to Dico Maniac, who rated us with some 60 viewers, and welcome. If there's any of those are still around, a very warm welcome to you. And we're looking at the Uppsala Young Champions, a junior tournament currently taking place in Sweden, and this is round 4. So this is the position on the board.
Yeah, this is a mess, yeah. Because it's clear that white is trying to attack on the king side. That's why rook e8 was actually obligatory in the last move. There was a huge threat of queen h6. I think, with knight g5.
Let's say any move. Queen is coming,
Yeah, now knight g5. I mean, it's not yet mate, but it's very, very scary. But now,
Let's say I go now. Which knight do you want to go?
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, probably knight F, I guess. Knight F8. Now maybe bring the bishop, like bishop F4. Threatening maybe knight F6 check, and
Yeah, it looks.
I mean it's quite scary. I mean rook E8 looks much more sane.
Sane
and the
and
question is-
safe.
Well, now you have bishop F8 after queen H6.
So how do we continue this attack?
Because white is a pawn down, and like situation on the queen side is quite good for black. Like
So
many
what if I
squares.
just- no, then E5.
Then E5 is hanging, but also there is bishop B4 as a move, picking up some material.
Also,
Uh,
rook C2 is.
Rook C2 is there, but also knight B4 and knight C2 is quite scary. Like this queen on D2 is not very harmoniously placed. Like you would normally here play bishop G5 with white. This would be very normal. You have then you win the square on D6. You have some hopes for the F6 square as well, but here the queen is blocking, and to play a move like queen D1 is very, very slow.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I really liked this in the opening, but for white. But now I'm already.
yeah, now I think maybe white played. I mean, did something a little bit too optimistic. I mean, he played like 3-4 moves on the king side with the hope of getting a big attack, and of course, if there is no attack, then he just wasted time.
I mean, how do you even so? Is bishop B4 a threat right now, or there is still queen H6 would be okay, or no?
Difficult to say. Very difficult to say. But the thing is that black doesn't actually need more material. Black is already sort of long term much better. So the only thing black needs to do is to not run into some attack, and that is enough. Yeah, then he will eventually or she will eventually make progress on the queen side. If it's knight b4, knight z2, or bishop b4, or rook c2, I mean, and something will come for sure. I mean, there is no risk that white will be defending the queen side for eternities.
And I guess a move like H5.
Yeah, I mean, you have to try something like H, but it's really not a lot of compensation. Yeah, I guess H5, or this queen, move the queen and play bishop G5, but it also feels so slow. Yeah.
But where do you move the queen?
Yeah, exactly. Also this queen D1 maybe, but
Because queen D3, I guess there's knight B4.
you run into this knight before. Yeah. This is correct. Maybe by the queen. The queen takes D4 is a move, but then again, knight B4 looks.
Oh,
Knight
we're being told there's been a result on board 6 already. Shall we come back to this one in a short while?
Yeah, let's see how he's going to attack here, but
Oh my god. This guy.
yeah.
See, you remember, he played A4 in round 2?
But A4, yeah.
It's so incredible. I know
It's
it was
the
in round
touch,
1, no? When we were looking together.
No, it was yesterday with Pontus.
Ah, yeah, of course. Yeah. And Pontus attributed it to the coronavirus.
Yeah, something like that. No, I think it's the Dutch school of chess, yeah. Led by Lucas van Porres.
That's what I was thinking yesterday with Pontus. I didn't say it, but I immediately thought of Lucas. So let's see. But
Yeah.
both times he won his game. So let's see. But in yesterday morning, he was in some trouble.
Definitely, it looked very dodgy. But here, yeah, black did something wrong, of course. This has gone completely wrong for black.
And I guess he never this pawn just so how.
Yeah, to give up the dark squared bishop when the bishop is on b2 was, of course, this looked very, very dodgy.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to do something else. Yeah, you have to play maybe. Well, difficult to say, but maybe d5 or.
Yeah, I mean, this bishop.
Yeah.
A very important piece. Yeah?
I mean, after bishop takes d4, it's just you're positionally busted and probably mated as well. So.
Let's see how he ended the game.
Yeah, and now even the h pawn makes a lot of sense on h4 because you anyway want to push h5. Yeah, now h6.
Oh, but he found even a nice way
Even a nice way to lose the game. Yeah, of course, after h6, it's dead lost because of the dog squares. I mean, g6, queen f6 will always be mate. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, this. I mean, black. It was not black's best day here.
No.
Bishop takes d4, especially should not be played here. This is quite a huge positional mistake. So any other move and position is sort of unclearish.
Yeah. But a
Bishop
nice.
Yeah, nice one. I mean, very nice mating pattern, of course. Very cute mating pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see these moves like a4, h4 being rewarded. I'm so curious what he's going to play tomorrow. Next time with White.
Because now he has to stick to it, or what?
I mean, yeah, that's curious.
But I think h4. I don't know. I mean, for instance, is a4. I think a3 makes much more sense. But h4. I mean, h3 makes less. Difficult to say actually what is supposed to happen. Yeah, I mean, they are of course quite weak moves.
If you
undeniably weak. Yeah, like Pontus said, you should play in the center in the beginning. It's as simple as that. Yeah, it's.
If you had to open your next game with either h4 or a4, which of the two do you think you would choose?
Probably a4.
To not weaken your king side, or
yeah, not weaken my king, because then I would be able to castle short later on in any moment. I mean, the pawn on a4, a5, it can become useful. It's difficult to say. I mean, I would rather play something in the center.
Okay, let's go back to the live action. Thank you to White Dancing Rockstar, by the way, who alerted us to this. I still don't know who is White Dancing Rockstar. Is he involved with the tournament or just with Lichess?
I think with Lichess.
Okay.
With Lichess, I think so. But he's Swedish, so he's of course following.
Okay.
Okay, this is a mess, yeah?
Should we go back very quickly?
Very quickly. It's this gambit. That Volga gambit, but with e6, which is very rare. Normally you play g6 and play slowly. But e6 is sort of trying to break the center open as soon as possible.
I mean, the youngsters, I don't know what they are serving them there in Sweden, but
they are playing so aggressive. But this was, I mean, now White has a terrible version of this kind of position, of course. Yeah, probably Black is just better already. I mean, simply this king. I mean, normally Black plays, like, keeps the center closed. And then you have time to take with the king on f1 and slowly bring it from g2. But now the center is sort of open, yeah, or fluid, and there is a lot of counterplay immediately. So
yeah,
this looks like a disaster for White.
So White Dancing Rockstar is saying he's just a Swedish guy who would prefer to stay anonymous, but that you must know who he is.
I possibly do, yeah.
So, huh?
Yeah, because if you take on 94, I mean, it's nice. Yeah, you activate the pieces, remove a defender, open the diagonal, and then the knight is hanging on e4, I guess. So if you take on g4, then Black will take on e4 with something, yeah, probably the queen. And now even g5 is possibly a threat because of the pin. But also the rook is hanging, yeah.
And f3 now, surely.
Yeah, f3, but then, I don't know, queen d3 check.
And even still g5 next.
Still g5, but also probably some
mate.
Yeah, I mean, probably mate. Mate ends the game. So he tried rook e1. G5 king. So now if you take on g4, it's the same, but you take with the rook, but it's a similar story.
Nils, we just had another huge raid, so I will just interrupt you for 1 second. We got a raid with 184 people coming to us from South Africa, from the ladies from #chess. I don't know if it's Jessie or Rebecca, but thank you so very much for the huge raid. Really appreciate it. Let me introduce one more time. I'm sure he doesn't need any introduction, but Grandmaster Nils Grandelius, Sweden's #1 player. And we are here looking at the Uppsala Young Champions, a junior tournament that is currently taking place in Sweden over the board. So good to see some over the board action, and Nils and I are commentating on it remotely. It's round 4, and we have some very interesting games, as you guys can see. And yeah, thank you so much again. Welcome.
Yeah,
to
thank
the
you very
show.
much. So here was a nice trick. Yeah, black of course could contemplate to take on e5 because of the pin with the bishop on f4. And knight f6 check, exactly.
You were
And
testing me.
I was testing you.
If I'm still paying attention.
I mean, I have coffee, so I have proof that I'm awake. But for you, yeah, that's why Black had to first give the check before he took on e5. Knight takes e5. Now you cannot take the knight because the queen is hanging.
Yes.
So yeah, this would be not enough compensation. So probably you have to play something like queen h5 to be able to hit the knight. I mean, like if you now play g takes f4, you can take the knight on e5. But this is all very, very scary for white, I think. Yeah, f3 check, for instance. Yeah. I don't know. Do you even go up or down?
Up.
But yeah, I don't know.
Come on.
This must be made, right? Rook f5 or rook d5?
I mean, but you have a check at least.
That's why maybe rook d5 was a move. But also this, yeah, it's just a disaster.
I mean, I can't believe. I refuse to believe.
So you have to go down, but it's also disgusting to go down, yeah. I mean...
Can I not do something fancy, like...
Exactly, I was just about to suggest queen e2. I think you can take an e2 and play knight f6 check. And pick up the pawn.
Huh?
Take on e2, f takes e2, knight f6 check. But there is mate in 1! This was... I thought you wanted to promote to the pawn. Ay.
I got you.
I am the one who is not just awake. Ay. Oof, mate 1.
I was wondering, what is he talking about? Knight f6? Okay, so...
But not start knight f6 either. No, but then it's maybe just... You have to play what? Knight c3?
So wait, queen h5 is on the board. So what, g takes?
Is there another? Probably not, yeah? I mean, for white, but yeah, no. Can't be.
No, I mean, you have to take, no?
You have to take?
Oh, it looks horrible, no?
It looks like mate, even. Just mate. King g1. Okay, let's try king g1, queen e2. What do I have here? Because if I play... what can I do? Presumably nothing. And then I have to go up with the king. I have to go up, but this I don't like at all. Yeah. Rook d5. I mean, any move, yeah, really. White is not up material even.
Okay, I have to go.
But even e5, yeah, could be a move here.
To open the queen, yeah?
Open for the queen, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ulan, thank you for the gift sub to hashtag. Yeah.
No, it's just lost, I think, yeah.
And also to Master Chess Dojo for the sub, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it looks awful.
It looks awful.
And
Jens Chess is asking why did it not work to play knight f6 and rook takes e2?
So wait, king g1, queen e2.
Yeah, knight f6 check, but bishop takes is the problem. And then rook takes e2, let's say. I mean, you take the queen, rook takes, and still mate. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, things have gone so wrong for...
And if I... Okay,
yeah, but then you're just a piece down. Yeah. Just a piece down, unfortunately. No, it looks lost, actually.
Yeah.
It looks completely lost for white. If you can...
Sam, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you everyone today for the support, and I hope you're enjoying the show. We're having fun at least today.
We're having fun,
For
yeah.
sure.
But okay, White is not having fun.
This is
No,
also
White is
for
having a terrible day, actually. I think it's dead lost.
But today, so many people. I mean, also, so let's show again for all the people who joined. So we saw this game earlier, where
This was nice.
this was a complete demolition,
Knight, yeah. I mean, it's so many.
and then we saw this game, which started with one h4, and
Yes.
ended with bishop h7 mate. Not so long after. So today there's a few people.
It's very cute, yeah.
A few people in Sweden who are having a tough time.
They're having great time in Sweden.
Actually, I see that one of the, there were 5 gifted subs, and one of them went to Alireza Fiuja, which is his real account. So I don't know if that means that he is here or was here. But
If he's here, then
if you're
shout out
watching-
to Alireza, and well done yesterday for he won the title arena, right?
Absolutely.
So very
Absolutely.
impressive. Some 100 points ahead of me, or something like that.
I mean, he's just
Okay, let's continue this tour of
this
the
one
games.
looks over to us at least, yeah.
Looks over, yeah.
Okay, so let's go to board 4, where the top seed Felix Blobecker, and this is also I know this is less crazy. At least the kings are tucked.
Yeah, this is very
tucked
normal.
away.
It looks like a stronger player about to outplay a slightly weaker one, but is it that simple? What if I play now rook e1? So last move, maybe you should go back 2 moves.
Okay, so we have h4.
h4, okay, g4, now it's completely blocked. So if white would be allowed to play f3,
Yeah.
then,
So let's
I mean, white has a lot of play on the queen side with b4, c5.
Mm-hmm.
And black has nothing at all on the king side, so he has to play f3. It's strictly the only move.
Mm-hmm.
He has to open up the fight. But the question here is, okay, he took queen f4, and now if I just protect the pawn on e4 with rook e1, let's say, can black actually break through? Because with white, I mean, I can, on the next move, maybe move my bishop from f3 and put my pawn there, and then I'm completely fine.
What happened if I play a strange looking move like this?
Sorry?
I
Yeah,
queen
now you
h3.
attack the pawn on h3, but I was hoping that I could play a bishop d1, actually. Now the queen is protecting on h3, and my next move... But I can no longer play f3, because then you take on h3.
Yeah, so let's say I go.
Yeah, let's say you go there. Yeah, this is interesting. This is a very interesting try, because now f2 is hanging. And f4 you take with the queen, yeah, so it doesn't really help that much.
There's a suggestion from the chat.
Knight takes d5. Yeah. No, the move before. Knight takes d5.
Oh, of course.
This is very nice. Yeah.
But wait, this is if after rook e1, so rook e1 fades
Knight takes.
to knight
Yeah.
Thank
Completely.
Thank you, Shell. And
Yes.
it's good that the chat is always keeping us honest.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, this is not over by any means, but it's for sure a useful pawn to grab. So knight takes d5 is also a threat. Then how do you protect e4 and protect against knight takes d5? Probably you simply don't, yeah?
Yeah, it looks... Now
And
that we-
if so, then black is fine, yeah. Or might actually be even better.
More than fine. The problem, this bishop is a huge problem, no?
Yeah, let's see. Rook. No, yeah, I mean the big problem is if black's rooks gets active, then black is doing very very well.
No.
I mean, if white can, it's not so much that you lose a pawn; it's rather the fact that the black rook starts to work. So, if you could somehow avoid that with white, I'd be very happy. But
It looks impossible to deal with both.
yeah, look, because it's simply a double threat. Yeah, knight takes d5 and knight takes e4.
Oh, you know who has just joined us in the chat? Grandmaster Komarov. Dimitri,
Queen e3, he suggests.
welcome.
It's not a very pretty move, yeah? I mean, take immediately or take on e3 first, even. Yeah, but this is simpler. Yeah, no, this looks very, very dubious for white, I think.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. I mean, maybe this f3 is simply a strong move, then if it works tactically.
Mm.
How do white fight? How does white fight? Okay, there is one idea. Okay, I played this rook e1 again. C takes. You take on f3. I play rook e3.
And you want to get some counterplay on the c file? Or...
Yeah, also, but another point of mine was if you play queen g2, I have f4. This was a big point. Then I can play f5 and block your rooks again.
Yeah.
Next move, if I am allowed. But maybe you can put the queen on h1 instead. I mean, the move before. I mean, instead of queen g2. And this is a big mess because now rook f3 might be coming next for black, and then h3 is very, very weak.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to somehow find a way to maybe rook c2 here is a move. So now you cannot move the rook to f2 or f3 because c7 is hanging. And what else? Yeah, I mean, it's not so easy to defend c7 either.
Yeah.
So if you defend with the rook, then you don't have the pressure anymore on the f file.
Let me just see what is the time situation in that game. Okay, it's not too bad. Ivana still has 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this position. I mean, I would assume that white is okay,
fine,
but well, but it's not so clear. There is some ideas for black, but also the queen can become a problem on h1. Of course, it's completely offside if you don't get your rooks going on the f file. So
yeah, I mean, how do you ever bring this queen back?
I mean, maybe you can play like, let's say, a move like king a8 and then
or maybe queen. I don't know. What am I achieving?
Yeah, maybe. But then, okay, after you are back, then your counterplay is also less strong.
That's true.
I mean, with white, I'm afraid that I will lose my pawn on h3. This would be the big blow. So.
Okay, let's come back.
I don't know.
this
Yeah,
one.
it will be an interesting fight for sure.
Absolutely. Let's just quickly go back to board 3, Kukushari against Sørensen, and see.
You played queen b7 instead. Very surprising move. Hang on, just 1 minute.
So, Nils and I wait. Queen h5, take. So he did not play. Hampus did not play f3, which Nils and I had looked at, and which we thought was basically more or less winning. We thought you cannot go to g1 because of queen e2, and we thought you cannot go to h4 to h3 because of rook d5. But
so on general grounds, yeah, sort of.
But black went for queen b7 instead of f3. And g4.
So queen b7 was with the idea to play rook f5, actually trapping the white queen.
Ah, very nice. Yeah.
This would actually trap the queen on the middle of the board. A g4 defense against that for the time being.
But the position looks very precarious. Can
this
I
is
not
true, but
play some... I don't know, I wanted to put my bishop...
yeah, bishop f6 would force me to take on f4, I guess.
Yeah.
So I have to stay in touch with my...
Knight.
Now you can play a move like bishop h4. Attacking the pawn on f2.
It looks also over, no?
Looks scary, but... I mean, queen e5, let's say. Rook takes f2, king h3. It's not
Oh, come
not
on.
very
Be
trustworthy.
serious, Nils.
Okay, sorry. What can I do? Yeah.
How can we checkmate this king? I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that you can survive here. And also, okay, material is equal, of course. Like, black has not given up anything to get here. But
You know,
can I
when
not
we play...
just- if I move my bishop, I'm threatening checkmate, yeah?
Yeah, because but I will take
no,
maybe.
now you have knight g3. And
But
my rook
also
is
knight
hanging.
takes up.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You know, in Bughouse there is
Okay,
this rule
I know,
when
now
you
you have to
defend.
check.
This rule called when in doubt, go up.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is sort of my logic here. I cannot go to g1 because I know that I will lose for sure then.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
So after g4, well, we played bishop f. But okay, here actually I did not even have the possibility to go down. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It should be winning still, but f3 looked very clear cut.
f3 looked very.
And okay, let's say here if you give white one move, rook hg1, then white is not doing so badly.
Niels, can we turn on the engine for the first time
Why?
in our show, just to confirm that f3 that we didn't miss anything?
But we should trust ourselves, I think.
Yes, but trust.
Aren't we on such
trust-
solid level? Okay,
Trust is good, but control is better, as the Germans say.
f3,
f3.
yes. And queen b7 is probably also winning, yeah.
Yeah.
Frankly
I
speaking,
mean,
the
queen
position
e2,
is
but what is
okay, any move, yeah.
queen e2, knight c.
Knight f6, I mean,
Okay,
he goes
but
to this
losing the
ending
knight,
with
yeah,
piece
yeah.
down.
Okay, then we did well.
We did well, yeah. But I predict the black win no matter what.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the top board, see what.
Yeah.
Oh. A lot of developments. Let's see how we got
What?
here. A lot has happened.
What
so
happened
we saw
there?
it here after f4, and then they started playing quite fast. So the knights came off the board.
But this is very, very promising for black, I think, still.
White was left with this isolated pawn.
Yes.
I'm playing through the moves quite quickly because.
Okay, but this a5, a4, a takes b is not really very suited for playing for a win. Yeah, I mean, you trade off one of the main weaknesses in white's position.
Just one question, Nils. I use this. Do you have this in Swedish as well? This thing, Vertrauen ist gut, Kontrolle ist besser. Because I think in English it doesn't translate. But do you have this?
Which one? Sorry, say again?
Vertrauen, because when I turned on the engine, you said we should trust ourselves, and I said trust is good, but control.
No,
is
we don't
better.
really have it. Yeah.
Because I think the Germans are the only one who are saying this. Vertrauen ist gut, aber Kontrolle ist besser. I have never encountered it in any other language, and when I translate it, people always, the game is over. Okay, let's see what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
You were
black
saying
did
this
not.
A push.
Yeah, that doesn't really make a lot of sense if you play for the win. I mean, you have to activate the bishop, try to trade the bishop, activate the king, and someday attack the pawn on a2.
So you want to keep this pawn here.
Exactly. I mean, also he wasted a couple of moves on making a beneficial trade for white. So yeah, that was a bit. That was very sloppy, I think, from black here.
And strange that he went for like quite quickly.
Yeah, but now it's just completely blocked. Yeah, so there is no way to make progress.
A last attempt.
Yeah.
But it's funny that I think it's a humorous touch, this giving up the bishop.
Humorous touch, but on the other hand, he missed out on some decent possibilities to play for the win. I think white did not have to defend as carefully as he could have been forced to do.
Yeah, so a draw on board 1, and that means that after 4 rounds, nobody remains on a perfect score.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to board 2. So we left it here.
Yeah, so he
here
took with
after
the
rook
queen.
e8. Yeah. So okay, so white took on d4.
The knight before was not played. Possibly it was too risky, or maybe there was an exchange sacrifice somewhere. Difficult to say. Looked pretty tempting. Now knight b4 instead, but now it's a different,
Different position.
a completely different story, yeah? Because now actually white won the exchange. But we'll have to give it back.
And what is happening here?
Guess you take one of the rooks at some point. But sort of, it's not as bad as it was before for white, even if black presumably is completely fine. Black is probably not better anymore.
So, do you think this
guess.
knight c5 move was the
I
problem?
mean, knight before was at least very tempting. I don't know. We might be missing something, but I don't really see what you do about. Maybe rook d1, but hard to believe that it works in the long term.
Can I not just... Ah, no, sorry. No.
Well, you can, yeah. Knight c2, queen takes d7, knight takes a1.
That way.
Don't know what happens there. Maybe there is just decent compensation for the exchange. But that's surprising. It looks very good for black.
Apparently, the saying in English is just trust but verify, which is much less nice than.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marifan. Google fan. So knight, she took on e1.
Yeah. So we assume rook takes e1. Okay, a5 is hanging, a4 is hanging. What is this?
What is this indeed?
Is there a way to hope for something as one of the colors? I mean, knight takes a4 must be very solid, but...
Oh, and we might be joined by the player with the white pieces on board 1, Jakub Kusza.
Jakub Kusza,
Shall we have him on? I guess we can have him on now before they all get down to no time at all.
Ooh, this was a big disaster for white here. Yeah, he did not. He played rook e2 instead, which is much worse because now the rook is not defending f2 here. So now, yeah, with the pawn lost, we doubt that white will survive.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
looks like a nice. It's going to be a nice win for black here. Looks very nice.
Okay, so
I mean, you will enter with I don't know. I mean, maybe bring the queen to d7, then try to enter on f3 with the rook.
Nils.
Yes.
Vil say in svenska. Förtroende är bra, kontrollen är bättre. Bättre.
Better. Well.
Oh, it sounds like it sounds good. It sounds like exactly.
Yeah, but I don't think it's trust in that. No, it is maybe.
I mean, it's exactly what I was saying. To trust ourselves is good, but to check with the engine is better.
No, but this means sort of trust in someone else, like.
Yeah, I mean,
in a working space. I mean, like your boss has trust in you to do your work. He doesn't have to control that you do it.
Yeah,
Not about your own confidence.
I think it works in both. Okay, we will discuss
You think it works in Swedish, even though I somewhat
No, but
disagree.
I mean, the saying is exactly the same. So what you are saying that is in German that I can't use it in this context.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know.
Ja, det är riktigt bra. Hälsning till Nils.
Yeah.
How is my Swedish?
It's okay, but this was more Danish or yeah. It was a bit of a mix.
So we will.
No, this will be won by black eventually. It will take some time, but black will win.
So what are we gonna ask Mr. Kusza? Let's.
I don't know. It's hard to know what to ask, yeah, because
probably he's happy to get away. Let's ask him. If
I think he's happy to get away. I mean, you should just ask whatever you want to ask. I think I don't really have any.
Let's see.
Any questions?
So okay, he's also a very young player. I just checked. Born in 2005.
In 2005.
Yeah.
Okay, but they are all sort of. But white is born in
but
2000.
okay,
Black was born in 2001, so.
Yes, so much older. Okay, let's quickly check the results and let's see.
Yes.
Okay, Okay. Okay, so I think we will bring him on.
Okay.
Bring him on now. Let's see. Also, of course, if there's any questions in the chat for any of the players, you can let us know.
Of course, of course.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Let me see. I don't see the camera yet.
Hello?
Okay, there we go. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And so, same question as for everyone, but I think you are our first guest who is not from Sweden. So you traveled from the Czech Republic?
Yes, I'm from Czech Republic, from Karlsbad.
From Karlsbad. Is it your first time in Sweden?
Yes, I'm here for the first time, and Sweden is very nice.
It's very that's good to hear. And you're also having a great tournament so far. So you were on a perfect 3 out of 3, and today you made a draw against Milton Panza, one of the top seeds. And we were actually looking at your game because I'm here, of course, with Nils Grandelius, who knows the Caro-Kann very well. Tell us, how did you feel? Let's say if I look at you, how did you feel you got out of the opening?
Yes, I prepared this opening for 3 hours, and this variation quite surprised me because I don't expect he will take on e4. I thought he will play bishop g4, and I will play h3, and bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, and this is this is main variation.
So this came as a surprise, this
Yes.
sort of thing. And then Nils was saying, Nils, what were you telling us about? You were a bit surprised by the setup.
Yeah, I thought in general white takes on f6 when black can't take back with the e-pawn, so take on f6 here, and then play d3 and h3 or g3 later on.
Okay.
This has been the most common, at least, in practical play.
Because then in the game...
I wanted to play some h3 and g4 and maybe then bishop g5, but
you mean here?
maybe there I can play bishop g5 or knight e5. I don't know. Maybe knight e5 is better.
Yeah, but knight e5, maybe bishop takes e4 followed by queen a5 could be an issue.
Oh yeah, yes.
Could be.
Oh.
No, but I think it's possible to take an f6 also here, because and then maybe if queen takes, you can play knight e5, or even even a move like d4, which threatens bishop g5 to capture.
Ah, very nice.
This also is possible. Because when they get this structure, you got this structure with you have to take back with the pawn on e4. It's very solid for black, of course.
Yes.
That's at least what I feel.
I wasn't too much happy with the position.
Yeah, so basically that's what we felt. We felt that today a draw was a great result for you.
Yeah.
Okay, also on paper, of course, he's high rated, but also from the position. Let's see, we go forward a few moves after everything was exchanged. Let's say when we get to the start of the endgame.
This is worst position for me.
I guess you were not too happy here in this endgame, yeah?
Yes, but I'm staying. So.
Yeah, where did you see?
G3.
Because so we looked at this moment. I guess I thought the problem is anyway. There's a lot of holes. I guess you probably kind of have to go f4 at some point, and okay, you get this isolated pawn. But after that, it looked like you defended very well, no?
Yes, maybe this is draw this position, but I don't. But Black is good. Black has a better game, so.
Did you talk to your opponent after the game? Did you analyze a bit?
No.
So after that, Nils in this endgame. So Nils was actually saying that maybe it helped you that he pushed this a pawn, because Nils was saying maybe Black's best chance was at some
Yes.
point
Yeah.
to run with the king.
Yeah, but okay, of course it's not easy to materialize this
Of
plan.
course,
Yeah,
yeah.
but in general, yeah, after a5, a4, and a takes b3, I think white is for sure out of danger.
Yeah.
Question is exactly how to avoid it with white, but with black, sorry.
And then after that it was, okay, the position just got blocked.
It's a bit too limited now, yeah.
Yeah. And your opponent, I thought it was quite funny to
He
give
goes
this piece.
checkmate.
And then, okay, everything was blocked and a draw was agreed. So I think all in all a great result. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And tell us, what was your favorite game from your first 3 rounds?
Maybe the best game was the game from the second round, because I've got queen and rook against three pieces, and it was still unclear the position. And
I remember seeing, well, I've been commentating on all the rounds, and I thought that was probably one of the craziest games I've seen so far
Yes.
from the whole tournament.
and I was very nervous, and I was losing too much time.
Yeah, that was a great turnaround. So Jakob, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on a fantastic start, and good luck for the rest of the games.
Very much.
Yeah, good luck, well done.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so it's very nice to hear from him. I actually really enjoy these interviews, because usually I'm like at Norway Chess or something talking to these Magnus Fabi, but it's really nice to hear from some new perspectives and from so many young players who I was not familiar with. So it's very nice, and they all seem to be very friendly and very nice kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Very
so
nice.
let's go back to board 2 and see what happened after knight takes, rook takes.
Yeah, he took on g5, which was she took, which is quite solid. Now trading even more, and yeah, one would assume that this is quite equal. Okay, queen c7 now. What about rook c1? Isn't this pin sort of
Annoying.
a long-term problem?
Okay,
Possibly.
you have
to go there. But then what do you do next? You play queen b6, and then you can move the knight because the rook is protected. So can you play something like knight h4?
No.
Or knight e1? Yeah, I mean, I just want to trade the bishops, take back with the knight to avoid queen b7 check. I mean, I'm just curious. How are you ever? Yeah, I mean, how are you ever getting out of the pin?
But can I not try and play queen b4?
Yeah, but even then you have the pin. I mean, here, let's say knight f4.
That's too
I'm
slow.
threatening knight d3. Oof. This is very scary for black, I
If
think.
I go here?
Rook c7. Hang on, let's see. Rook c4, maybe? But then you have knight a6, yeah? Let's see. Okay, let's go one more move back. Knight on g2. Can I do something more precise here? I mean, there's also knight e3 with ID knight c4 and just take the pawn on a5. It's a bit slower, but also quite scary.
So, okay, if I do the same...
Yeah, but then, okay, I
will
play
just
knight...
take my pawn, yeah?
I mean, I will take the pawn, and I believe there is no counterplay, no real counterplay at least. I mean, you can play. I mean, you can play something like a4 and hope that you will keep everything. But now knight c4, followed by knight d6, and this pin is so long term.
And if I go...
Knight d6. Yeah.
Now I'm hanging my knight, yeah? No?
Well, you have queen takes a3 for the time being, but this is like you're really hanging on by my head here.
I'm trying.
I mean, knight, you are trying, but yeah. I mean, no,
keep
okay,
trying until you beat me.
you will keep trying. Yeah. Okay, let's say I play knight e8. I will try to jump with the knight until I am
Until
given
you
the chance.
break me.
Exactly. No, but my point is you have to move to a light square, and then I give check and play knight e4 or d7, and then you cannot protect
Yeah.
the rook with the knight.
Yeah.
You cannot protect like with knight a6. So.
But all of
Yeah,
this...
I mean it looks very scary.
So knight h4, but that's slightly different, yeah? Oh no.
Okay, this is a different idea because now black has black can immediately step out of the pin, but white is intending knight g4 and going for the mating attack with knight f6. So okay, I guess you should take on g2 because this check will be very useful later on. King takes. Or you are considering maybe knight g4?
What? Knight where?
I mean, knight g4 is a move to go knight f6 if you move the bishop. But it looks like too much. After bishop takes g2 instead of recapturing.
Ah, no, I was not considering, but now that you mention it...
I don't know, yeah, it's not so stupid.
Now that you mention it...
That's okay. Also, recapturing is not a
Not a
bad...
crime.
Yeah, not a crime, yeah? Yeah, maybe pleasant for white, surprisingly.
Knight g4 is on the board.
But this is very typical in the style of the white player, Isak Stormer. He loves to attack.
Okay, so...
But now we have to calculate, yeah? This is a bit of a...
of a
bit
pain.
of an issue. Huh?
So, okay, where can I...
Not our thing.
Not... So... Okay,
Hang on. Anybody in chat who understands what is going on here?
Where are all the Komarovs and all the...
All the great players from the past. No, from the present. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it looks...
I thought
Look,
this
it
is
looks
why you
dangerous
were
to keep the
here
bishop.
for, Nils. I'm the host. You are the...
that's why I'm here. Yeah,
the
I guess.
calculator.
I guess. I mean, yeah, rook c8 is suggested in chat, but I mean, this is solid. Yeah, I guess white will give a check and recapture on g2. Could be okay.
Okay, here's another suggestion. Queen c6.
Yeah, queen c6. I mean, it's more interesting to see if it's possible to keep the.
And
But the
maybe
problem is
try and
knight
checkmate.
f6 check. Exactly. Knight f6, and you have some issues with coordination, I think. Because if you go to g7, then okay, the knight will be hanging in the end.
Okay, let's go.
King h8, I just take the rook. Bishop h1. And I play f3. And I believe that too many people are hanging here. Then rook c1.
Okay, you convinced me.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
Okay, there's another suggestion. Bishop a8.
Bishop a8 is a very similar idea. I mean, I was intending... this was my first
But maybe
instinct
it's
to
more
take
effective.
It's more effective, but I think it's also quite similar, because knight f6 check, and I take the rook, and I still play f3.
But does
And
it
we have the same... We have the same issue, yeah. I mean, looks to me like we might not have a chance to keep the bishop, which would
so
be a bit.
let's give it up.
I mean, then it's either knight d7 or moving the rook, I guess.
Let's maybe finally get out of this pin.
Knight d7, yeah, is a move. King takes g. Now you have to take, I assume. Yeah?
Fiona Fett is with us in the chat.
Fiona Pfeft, yeah.
You know who it is, of course, yeah?
I know very well, yeah.
And he's saying, he's calling you out. The
Yeah.
2700 expecting chat to know what is going on.
Okay,
so
king,
knight d7. Rook d8 was played.
rook d8 is interesting as well.
Time, by the way, time situation. I just noticed.
Time situation is very, very. This must be mentioned. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
It's impossible to defend this in with so little time, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I predict a white victory.
So okay, I guess check makes sense, no?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, there is one point. It's king takes. You move. Let's say king g7
Sorry.
after the check.
Yeah.
King takes g2, queen c6. Now you can't play f3 anymore because there is rook d3.
Very nice.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to move the king, but maybe you can just go king g1, yeah?
Anyway, he did not throw in the check.
He took first, yeah?
Took first.
Okay, why not?
Yeah.
I guess queen c6, king g1 will be played. Still, you are in this pin, yeah? Which is quite unpleasant.
Can I not just step out of this pin and give a check here?
But then you have to solve the issue of the knight. Yeah, okay, like this. Maybe like this, and now next move you play queen b4.
She played queen c6, your move.
Yeah, but it's too many threats, yeah? I mean, because even the ending is not clear that you will not be mated with this knight on f6.
Yeah.
I think things have gone...
Let's say when the knight is on f6 and bring the rook to g8 or something.
Yes, very nice arrows there. It's very instructive. No, but okay, it's one thing to see it, it's another thing to stop it, yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, king h3 is another move, but okay, king g1 looks very sensible as well. Is there some, like knight d3 followed by queen f3 or something like that, but it's not very trustworthy at all, yeah? Even a move like queen e7 here is super scary.
Yeah.
But then knight takes e1 and countermate, yeah?
No, but...
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, it's mate again. I'm again stepping into mate. Yeah.
I got you again.
Got me again. Just a queen e7. No, but it's just a nightmare to defend.
Yeah.
I would be really surprised if white, or if black doesn't collapse here.
So he stepped to h2.
Yeah. Well, h2 makes sense as well.
A nightmare.
A nightmare, yeah, exactly. Okay, so king h2. I mean, I would play, but the rook c1 is a threat as well, yeah? I was about to say I would play king g7 just to sort of have it done already, but then rook c1, I guess. And this now you're back in the pin, yeah? I mean, just take an a5 even.
Yeah.
King h2, and okay, also the time situation, yeah? There in the 7 seconds, you cannot play this with 7 seconds.
Knight d3.
Okay, now queen e7. Queen e7, you have other moves. But what are they?
What are they? So my threat is knight h6, so you have to...
Yeah.
What are they? Yeah.
Queen d7. This also looks very... No, knight f6 and take with the queen. I thought you had to trade the queens, but then the rook is hanging on e1. But even that would be lost. Oh, this is game over, I think. Completely, and he will for sure spot queen e7.
Yeah, I mean...
Or he's thinking maybe queen takes a5, yeah? And this, you can take a pawn as well.
But it makes so much sense now to bring...
Yeah, queen e7 is so tempting. I mean, it's really what you are looking for.
Yeah, with the knights so close and all these
yeah,
nodes.
yeah.
And especially, I really think when your opponent's clock is so low, like automatically I think your eyes are going more towards the king. Like I think when the clock is low, you're looking much more for the kill even than in...
Yeah, it could be. I did not actually think about this, but makes a lot of sense.
Is it not your experience as well when you were playing? Like that you're trying to cause even more like problems and... Huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's just a weak player thing.
No, I understand what you say. Yeah, it probably makes sense, but I haven't really thought about it. I mean, with black, you are very worried, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, with black, you would be thinking only about your king. You would lose this pawn on a5 10 times out of 10. just not to get mated, for instance.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, I think, but it's just lost. Yeah, queen e7.
Yeah, it looks.
This knight h6 is such a huge threat.
Yeah. Shall we just very quickly see? We'll come
Yeah.
back here. Queen e7 is on the board.
Yeah. Okay, so this will be resigns.
So let's see quickly if.
Okay, a little bit up and down game, most probably. Yeah.
So this game is
Oof,
still
what is
going, but wait, what happened here? It looked. We thought it was more or less so. This was this f3 game, yeah.
F3, yeah.
Where
Well, he missed F3. That was what happened, right?
Yeah.
Then it became a little bit of a mess.
And it's g4. This is where we left, yeah. And he
Well, we suggested actually bishop f6,
Yeah.
bishop h4, and take.
we suggested all of.
He did, he repeated once. Yeah, wow, very professional from such a young player.
Yeah.
F3, okay. So white had to sacrifice an exchange, or white sort of lost an exchange. It depends on your perspective. But now the king, the black king, is not.
But I'm so. What is?
D6 is also kind of
I
cute.
don't
Yeah.
understand d6.
Well, the thing is, white wants knight f6 check. Rook takes f6. Rook takes.
You're defending the queen.
So you simply defend the queen. Yeah. This I think is the point. Of course, black is a lot of material up, so if he can avoid all the traps and tricks,
Can I go rook f2?
probably you can. Okay, well, first we have to consider what happens if rook takes f3. But that doesn't work because you take with the rook, yeah? And you actually, I mean, I can pin with queen takes e4, but I'm actually checkmated in one. This time I saw it.
Well done.
For once. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm beginning to wake up, spotting all these amazing mating ones. Yeah, rook f2 is definitely a move, but maybe... yeah, rook f2 is not a bad move at all. You can take with the... No, that was...
Oh, let's go quickly back to board 2. Storm.
Yeah, mate, checkmate, yeah, very nice. Mate in 2. Yeah.
And that's finished. Game over.
Done. Well done to him.
So back to board 3, and white is still thinking, but this one is very, very close. Well done, yeah, to Isaac Stormer. And Nils, Carl is sending us a reminder not to forget about game of the day, which befalls on you.
Okay, sure. Let's see. So should we follow this game, or what do you think?
Which game?
I mean, this one we are currently, or should we have a look at the other ones just to see how they are?
Sure.
I mean, but we did not really have time to look at more than 5.
I know, the thing, I was staying here because they're down to 1 minute, but okay, we can take a very quick, let's maybe quickly just see here, update the results and see what is even still going on before we jump around.
Yeah, but not so many results yet, actually.
So, we can have a quick look at boards 4 and 5, which we haven't really seen yet. So, and rook f2.
4, okay, this game, okay, we said that black will win convincingly, which he will do.
And this was a draw. So actually, I think we should stick to this board 3.
Yeah. Well, let's say he played rook f2, I played your move. So now, I mean, the thing is,
better or for worse.
Knight f6, you can take it, but like the rook ending would probably be unpleasant for white still, but...
I will keep my queen.
You of course want more with black, yeah? But the problem is that the pawn... So what about the move like queen f5 if you want to be ultra solid?
Nils, 1 second. We are just joined by Simba8 in the chat, and if I am not mistaken, Simba is Seam Vandal. Maybe he can confirm, but I think it's Seam. If it's Seam, well done. Today and some interesting opening choices.
Yeah, well. Okay.
Okay, so rook f2, what do you do?
No, I was suggesting queen f5 just if I want to be very solid. So my point is knight f6 takes, g takes, I have queen g6. And I will pick up the pawn on f6 and I will have an initiative in the rook ending, but it's not enough, I feel. White has decent drawing chances here.
I mean, this one is so... I would hate to play. As I find rook endings so tough.
Yeah, this is not at all. So rook d5 played in the game instead? Is it with similar IDs? You should go to the game. Rook d5. I mean, it's presumably with similar IDs to have queen g5 now instead of queen g6 after knight f6.
Yeah. Oh, and h4 makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, if you're white...
Yeah, okay, but you could also win back the exchange and go to a rook ending with equal pawns. So I understand it makes sense, but it's also the other move also made a lot of sense.
Are you gonna stop me from ever?
No, that's the point. Yeah, probably I can't. So then it's even. But the thing is, in this rook ending, you're not supposed to move your h pawn. Yeah, I mean
maybe even white is suddenly thinking, okay.
Yeah, but okay, queen f5 is going to be played. Yeah, queen f5 was played.
Okay, so now knight f6.
Yeah, but now we trade on g6, and you have played h4, which is not to your benefit.
Yeah.
Can you wait one more move here? But there is no point, yeah? h5. This was your suggestion,
yes.
Yeah? Interesting. No, but I play queen f4. Well, I mean, I can play
But
queen
now...
f4. I'm blundering this one. Yeah. This has been the problem all game.
h5 is on the board, Nils.
Well, Upper suggested the same. Yeah. He missed the same thing as me, blundered the same.
Good job that
you had the possibility to play queen f4 for a long time, and it was always queen takes e6. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, h5 played.
I am starting to think, okay, maybe white can create some... Maybe I'm
but okay, there is no... I don't believe it. I think he really should have taken the exchange.
Yeah.
Because now you cannot play knight f6 because g5 is hanging with check.
Okay, what's happening here after g6?
Well, I take. Queen takes? No, queen takes with check.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I think white just misplayed horribly here. This was a horrible turn of events.
Simba is saying that from now on he will play normal opening choices. Upper, did you see that?
I approve strongly of this decision.
Upper, did you see that your countryman, Siem Vandal, has today opened his game? Okay, we'll stick with this and then we'll show. Today he opened with one h4, and in round 2 he opened with one a4, and he won both games. So what? Okay, sorry. So queen h7 was played after this and takes. But now what is... I'm completely...
Yeah, because he gave a check first, so now the pawn on g6 is no longer hanging.
Yeah,
still, yeah, this knight is a monster on e4. But what is the threat?
But I mean, anyway, for now it's absolutely, I think, 3 results with this clock situation.
Yeah, but...
Because
the main one is still a black queen, I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, how do I get this rook?
Yeah, I mean, because f3 is hanging, so that's why my idea was rook d4 to just capture the knight on e4. But there is a move. Knight g3, trying to kick the queen and then play g7.
Yeah. Knight d4 is played, so okay, you're suggesting knight g3.
I think maybe you have to keep the queen on but that's very scary. I mean, on the diagonal to stop g7 to keep attacking the queen on h7, but now, I mean, this really looks quite dodgy. Can you no, you cannot, yeah. I was thinking, can you go back? But this makes more sense. Well, you have to watch out for rook g4. I don't know if it works. Takes queen e4 check.
What is this madness?
But this feels like it's going to be some perpetual somehow.
Yeah, I mean, for sure black wants more. But... Yeah.
Even rook king h2 was a move after rook g... no, then g6 is hanging.
Where did you see?
Yeah, no, this is a huge mess.
Rook
knight
d4
g3 played, yeah?
Knight g3 played, yeah.
No, I'm also starting to feel that things are going heavily wrong for black. Maybe this game. I mean, what is actually the technical term for this price?
Oh, upper.
Rook g4 here. This is a nice, yeah.
Yeah.
But still.
Okay,
But you can
queen-
maybe go for an immediate attack. Because I was thinking, what about just taking it, yeah? And king h3, exactly. But here rook f3. And I'm worried that I
Can I
will...
give a... but I cannot give a second check.
Yeah, I think this might be game over.
But he didn't play, he played queen d3, so they are following our line for now.
Yeah, but I think this rook f3 they are simply won. So rook g4 was an interesting try for sure. Very nice try. But queen d3 now, what did we say? I already forgot. Knight h5.
H5 we said.
But this also allows, yeah, this rook g4. And we, okay, but here, yeah, I don't know. It's such a mess.
But now is it...
Queen e3?
Oh, no, nothing.
Yeah, I think you have. Maybe you should try to go backwards. King f1, let's say. King f1 looks like a perpetual to me. I mean, for sure, white is in no danger, but also black. Yeah, I mean, looks perpetualish. But do you have to take the rook? Probably you do. Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise queen takes g6 will come. So you have to take the rook. Yeah, take the rook. But yeah, he found it. Yeah, but okay.
But
yeah, now
there's nothing more than a perpetual, yeah.
So I have a. I mean, I would like to. If this ends in a draw, I would like to hand the prize to both these players, because this was really the most fascinating game, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
But okay, it's hard to give it to... I mean, Hampus would not be very happy to get the Game of the Day prize when he messed up a completely winning position, huh?
Okay, but some consolation prize maybe also is possible, yeah.
SL in the chat is saying, Nils, I read about you in the book by Axel Smith.
Yes. Okay, so now this will be a perpetual.
So, okay, takes, queen e4. And now what? Now...
I think king f1 is the most...
Are we still running some danger somehow?
Hang on. Okay, let's try to go up just for fun. Okay, I play king h3.
Okay, and he played already king h3.
He played king h3. He plays for the win.
Yeah.
If he wins, I know he will get this. But he cannot win, yeah? Queen h1? Because there is always at least perpetual. This is completely crazy.
Are you sure?
Right?
Because
rook
I have
f3?
knight g3, no?
Ah, you have knight f3, yeah? You have knight g3. Ah. Ah. Okay, queen g1. I know, but this is too much, yeah?
I can even just come back, no?
You can come back to h4, but okay, I mean, does it look convincing to you? No, then I have queen f1.
Then you have queen f1. Wait,
I mean, rook g2, queen h1, perpetual, yeah? Come on, and you are saying we cannot give the prize to both of the players.
Oh, this line is so funny.
Right? This is an incredible statement. Okay, let's see, king h3, yeah? Because king f1, it's clear, yeah? You can never lose with white. It's really nice. And they are playing on 30 seconds each move. Like, okay, I would like...
They have to be rewarded.
I would like 15, 20 minutes, yes, to sort of get around to... rook takes f2 came. This we did not even... we did not even consider this move, yeah? But it looks pretty strong, threatening mate in 2.
But I wanted to give this check... but it does nothing at all.
Just one check, yeah? King d8?
Yeah, I forgot that you can... Did we just not look at it?
Sorry?
Did we just not look at this at all?
We did not consider capturing, no. No, but now... What is going on now? Yeah, now maybe just simplest is to keep I mean...
Apparently Stockfish is not impressed by rook f2. So what are we missing?
Hang on.
Free knight. Okay, so...
No, but not this, because now you can just pick up the knight, I guess. Queen g2, queen h2, and take the knight.
Yeah, and that's gonna be game over. So what was wrong with rook f2?
Let's see. So the threat is queen h1 followed by queen h2 mate.
Let's just see the end of the game, because I guess there will be nothing here.
Yeah, queen take g3 because it again threatens mate.
Apparently,
Knight
it's
g7.
so
Knight g7 is necessary. King d8. Maybe queen e8. Yeah, because now.
Queen where?
No, but now if king c7, there is knight takes e6 check.
But wait, what's the first move of the line? Queen g8.
Queen g8 check. Yeah.
And if you go to c7, what did you say?
I thought knight takes e6 check, but I'm not sure.
I think what we missed.
Yeah, queen h4, queen h4. Yeah, this is nice. So king, then in that case you had to go to d7 instead.
And now surely something here.
Yeah, but it's still not clear. I mean, yeah, actually queen knight f5 check. King c6. Now queen b7 check. No, I think maybe it's the only way, most probably, yeah?
Upper also suggested
He
this
saw it
line,
also
yeah.
But king takes b7, knight takes d6, and at the very least white is in no danger. I mean, probably white is winning.
Probably white is winning.
Yeah.
This game is so crazy.
Yeah. Okay, but it's a bit... it's... Now, I mean, if we give it now, we have to give it to the black player, yeah? But they were both trying to make it as interesting as possible.
Yeah.
We have to ask the organizer whether it is allowed or not.
But I forget. I think there's only one prize because it's a prize by ChessBase. So I think there is only one.
There is only one.
This game was so crazy.
Because this game, no, really, they were fighting.
Incredible.
They were fighting incredibly well. I would like to give it to both. Actually,
I will suggest.
We should suggest it. Yeah. That's okay. I understand. Yeah, it's not normal practice to give it to the losing side as well. But white was really fighting very, very well here, and I mean he could have just repeated before, but went for this king h3 crazy winning attempt.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, now it looks like game over. How do you win it in the simplest way? Rook f5 probably, yeah? And take the queen on h5.
To finish in style, yeah?
Yeah.
But there is a mate apparently. Queen e3.
Yeah, queen e3, queen f2, queen f6, rook h8. Yeah, this is also nice. Queen f6 is the key. After, when the king goes up. This is rook f3 mate, and this is queen f6.
Yeah.
So checkmate, yeah. I mean, nice win for black, but such a crazy game. Ay. We completely forgot about the other game, but okay, they are simply not interested in comparison.
What a game. I mean, this line was so crazy with first of all with the perpetual on h1, f1. And also this queen's b7.
Yeah. No, it was a fantastic fight for sure. Yeah. I don't know actually if there are any other games of interest.
Let's see. Let's update the results.
Not really, I guess. Yeah.
So Felix is still fighting apparently on board 4 for his point. Shall we leave this one? Or is there...
I think so, yeah. Now it's... I mean, he will lose the queen.
So let's go to Felix's endgame.
Yeah, but okay, you can just pick up the pawns, yeah? Take that one, take next one. This is game over.
Maybe it's already over. I know there's still the...
Could be that he already resigned, yeah.
And okay, we can have a quick look. Apparently boards 19 and 20. Let's have a quick look. So on board 19, Vidar Kran against Varg Skalberg, Bjerknes, Lima de Faria.
That was a long name.
Yeah. And what is going on in this position?
Yeah, difficult to say. I mean, your guess is as good as mine here, yeah? Hang on, queen takes e2.
Oof, missed.
Oof, queen takes e2, yeah?
Was a big
Picked up.
miss.
Yeah. Queen c6 doesn't really matter, just queen g2, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. But missed.
Missed
Okay, now you have to take with the rook.
with the rook, yeah?
Just stop rook e7.
Actually, you don't.
No?
Or you do? Ah, you do. You do. Sorry. Yeah, you do. You do. Because you can. I thought that was perpetual, but you can run to h3. With the pawn on h3, it would be a perpetual instead of h4. But okay, it doesn't matter. She will for sure take with the rook.
So I'm being told that yes, you're allowed to give the prize to both players, and if you can explain your motivations for your choice in one sentence.
One sentence.
So let's pull up the game once again. So today, the game prize is gonna be awarded to both Kaan Kukukshari and Hampus Sørensen.
Okay, big drama, yeah. No, but fantastic fighting spirit by both players, especially. Really by both players, but not the least White trying to play for the win in the end with King H3 after having had such a dubious position throughout the game. Yeah. Also, this not playing Knight F6 and going for the rook ending, yeah, trying to actually keep fighting there. Yeah. Those are all very nice decisions. And okay, I mean, Black also made a lot of good moves. The first part of the game, Black was completely outplaying White, of course, until he started to make the win a bit too complicated with instead of this F3 check, which looked very, very simple. Okay, that was maybe more than one sentence. I'm not sure. I didn't count. But
let's see very quickly, and congratulations to Hampus Sørensen. Let's see very quickly. Board 20, Mateusz Buchert, who you told us is a Twitch streamer playing against Julia Ossensson, who yesterday we looked at her endgame. It was a big pity when I don't know if you saw, I was looking with Harry. She lost a
yeah, I saw. Yeah, that should have been possible to hold. Yeah.
But today she is the one.
No, this is completely over. Yeah.
Can you just?
I mean, you are Zugzwang, and also like Rook F2 would be winning in the next move.
And it's
but actually you don't even need it. Yeah, you can also just take on E4 if you want.
I would probably go for this, no?
Yeah.
And then the rooks are gone.
Me too. I would also go for it. But rook takes E4 is also not bad, let's say.
And then.
Yeah.
Rather than okay, but the problem is Black cannot White cannot even.
I mean, you play rook E2 check and then King F3, and I mean you have 2 pawns and a huge initiative.
Yeah. Let's see what she goes for, but it will be a big win for her.
It will be a nice win, yeah.
So let's just see. She's down to the last seconds. Let's see what she goes for. She took the pawn, which okay, of course, is completely fine. Let's go back to see if this Felix. Okay, Felix won the game. Actually, what happened here in the end? Rook F3, picking up the bishop. So let's just see very quickly. Here, nothing happened. Maybe the transmission got stuck, but I think that brings us to the end of this show, basically.
Yeah.
Let's update the standings one more time and see.
So now more players are joined on 3.5. Yeah, now it's a huge tie.
Yeah. So now we have on 3.5 Jakub Kurscher, Milton Panzer, Isaac Storme, and Hampus Sørensen, yes?
Even more maybe, or not?
No.
Felix? No, Felix is already 1 point. Yeah, okay,
yeah, so 4 players.
Yeah.
In the lead, and they will be fighting it out tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be joined by International Master Jesper Hall. Tomorrow is a double round. Let me quickly show the schedule. Tomorrow's round 5 will start at 12. So we'll start the coverage 2 hours later. So at 12 I will go live with Jesper Hall, and then tomorrow afternoon at 6 with Tiger Hiller. So 2 new guests will be joining the fray tomorrow. Should be great fun as always. We've really seen some fantastic games.
This was I mean, the games are really exciting actually. Very, very exciting.
So Nils, thank you very much to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. It was a great pleasure. I hope I did not confuse it too much with his shared beauty prize, but.
And Nils will be back for the final round. So the final round we will not start after. We will start from the beginning and cover all the action. So that will be on next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Nils, yes. I will have you back tonight in just over 4 hours over at Chess24. So everyone who's watching right now, would be my pleasure to see you there. We will have some interesting topics so that you guys know. I'll warn you, tonight it's not going to be about chess. It's more like a talk show / chess news. So we'd love to see you there tonight. Should be good. And Nils, I'll let you go get some rest in between.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you tonight and on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that ends today's show. It's been an incredible round. There's been a lot of you watching today. Thank you so much to everyone who took part in the chat. Big special thanks, of course, once again to #chess for the huge raid, and for Dicomaniac earlier with the raid as well, to Sam for the gifted subs. So Ulon, Maripan, thanks as always for all your precious help. And that is all for me for now. As I say, I will be back in 4 hours over at the Chess24 channel. And now, I'll send you over to GM Tranquilizer. He's been sending a few raids our way. So let's return that favor. And hopefully I'll see you guys tonight. Until then, enjoy your Sundays. Thank you so much for watching. And see you later. Bye. Bye.